Thank you to all of you who are joining us today from different backgrounds. It's incredible to see such a diverse group of individuals interested in the field of clinical anatomy, and we appreciate your attendance and participants. So thank you for being here with us today. We hope that this event will provide you with valuable information and insights into our MSc Clinical Anatomy program. So before we get started, I'd like to highlight the objectives of this event. Our main goal is to promote our MSc Clinical Anatomy program and provide you with a deeper understanding of what it is all about. So we want to showcase our program's features, including our curriculum and expert faculty. And we decided to take a virtual approach, which allows us to reach individuals from all over the world, regardless of location and time zone. And we believe that this virtual format will enable us to connect with a broader audience and showcase the value of our program. And I'd like to remind you that this is an interactive event and we encourage you to ask questions and share your thoughts with us throughout the event. You can do this by using the chat features on WebEx, or you can raise your hand if you like to speak and mute yourself. Okay? So without further ado, let's dive into our first slot, which will give you an overview of our program and its objectives. We are honored to have with us today our Head of Department, Associate Professor Dr. Siti Nur Mahanim Hadi, who will be delivering the welcoming speech for today's event. Prof. Siti Nurma is an outstanding academician and researcher in the field of anatomy education as well as clinical anatomy. She is also one of our proud alumni of our MSc program. She has contributed immensely to the development and growth of our department, and we are privileged to have her as one of our speakers today. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Siti Nur Mahanim to the virtual stage to deliver her welcoming speech. Dr. Siti, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shamsi, Amalina. Thank you for the kind introduction and welcome everyone. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. So I'm Siti Nur Mahanim Hadi. So on behalf of the Anatomy Department, I think it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to our MSc Clinical Anatomy School of Medical Sciences Open Day, right? MSc Clinical Anatomy Open Day, School of Medical Sciences, University Science Malaysia. Special welcome to everyone. And I believe there are more participants actually registered for this open day, but maybe they couldn't make it today. It's okay, we're going to record this session. And I can also see familiar names here. Okay, they are actually our alumni. Okay, welcome back to Anatomy Department. I hope everyone will have a fruitful 2-hour session with us, and I hope that you will be able to get the answers to your questions during this event. Okay, I'm not actually going to give a talk, but rather I'm just giving a welcoming speech to everyone. Okay, like for your information, our MSc program, okay, MSc Clinical Anatomy, the aim is to produce graduates that who are competent to teach anatomy. Okay, not only to undergraduate medical and also like health sciences program, but to postgraduate students, including those in masters in clinical specialty. So given that our program emphasizes more on clinical application and clinical integration of knowledge, so that's why we are eligible to teach the masters in clinical specialty. So what is unique about our program is that up to today, it is the only program in Malaysia that include anatomy education course in the syllabus. So we actually provide knowledge and skills related to evidence-based pedagogy, instructional design, student-centered learning, and assessment in anatomy as a preparatory measure to become anatomy teachers. Right, and besides that, our program also provides holistic exposure to biostatistic and research methodology that prepare our graduates to become a good researchers in the area of anatomical sciences, okay, including in anatomy education. And in fact, many of our alumni have pursued PhD and achieved excellence in their chosen field. All right. And our alumni, like what Dr. Shamsi mentioned just now, our alumni came from various academic background. Okay, when they first enrolled into our MSc program, many of them were trainee lecturers, okay, from various institutions, and also quite a number were medical doctors, housemen, dentists, veterinary officers, and some are actually fresh medical graduates. Okay. However, we also welcome applicants with basic degrees in other allied health sciences program degree, okay, but with outstanding academic results or with vast working experience in the related field. So meaning that if you, for example, if you have a degree in nursing and you have 3 years, at least 3 years of working experience as a nurse, as a registered nurse, so you are you are qualified to apply for our program. And more than 30% of our alumni were actually international students, okay? And based on our data, about 90% of our graduates managed to successfully graduate on time, and 90% of them were employed shortly after graduation. So that's another unique thing about our program. And yeah, and they are now successful lecturers, researchers, and scientists at various organizations in Malaysia and internationally, and some of them are leaders in their department, institutions, and national levels. And this data shows that how successful our alumni are in their career. And I'm proud to call myself as an alumni of MSc Clinical Anatomy, University Science Malaysia. And perhaps I will reserve all the details and the exciting part about the program to our distinguished program coordinator, who is also our alumni, Dr. Fazlina Kasim. But before I pass over to her, I think I would like to introduce the academic and support staff who have been the backbone of the program. So perhaps can you all on your video so that I can introduce you to our guest here? Okay. Okay, so we have 10, actually we have 11 academic staffs, okay, but one of them is currently doing her PhD, which is Dr. Ana Alisha. I think Dr. Ana Alisha is here. Right, but our senior most lecturers is Associate Professor Dr. Zul Izhar. Yeah, Dr. Ana Alisha is here. Okay, our senior most lecturer is Associate Professor Dr. Zul Izhar, but unfortunately he couldn't make it today. I think Dr. Zul, are you here? Okay, I think no. Okay, it's okay. He is our lecturer. Secondly, we have Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Asnizam Asari. Okay, Dr. Asnizam, can you wave? All right, so that's our also very senior person in the department. Okay, next we have our coordinator, Dr. Fazlina Kasim. Okay. And our also another senior lecturer, Dr. Nurul Aiman. Dr. Nurul Aiman is here, I think. Okay, Dr. Aiman, are you here? Okay.
Yes. Baru nak buka video.
Okay, this is Dr. Aiman. And we have Dr. Shamsi, our chairperson just now. Dr. Muhammad Shabil. Okay. Right, Dr. Nur Fasiha. Okay, and Dr. Faiza, our moderator for alumni session. Okay, and we also have together with us is our science officer, Mr. Ni Ahmad Shah. Okay, Mr. Ni Ahmad Shah. Okay, our senior technologist, Mr. Firdaus. Okay. And then we also have our MLT. Siapa? Okay. I saw. Okay. Mr. Harisal. Okay. Siapa lagi? Dekat sini. Tak nampak. Mr. Shamsul. Okay. Mr. Aidi and also Madam Norhana. Okay. And our, okay. I think that's all from me. I believe that I have to end my welcoming notes. Thank you again for joining our open day. And I hope this session will be an eye-opener for those who plan to pursue postgraduate studies in anatomy. Thank you so much. Ramadan Al-Mubarak to all Muslims. Have a good day ahead. And back to you, Dr. Shamsi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siti Norma, for that insightful, welcoming speech. We are grateful for your presence and your continued support of our MSc program and the anatomy department. So now we will be moving on to our next slot, which is a video presentation that will give you a brief introduction to our program and the anatomy department. So without further ado, please sit back and enjoy the video presentation. We hope that it will give you an insight of what it's like to be a part of our program and inspire you to pursue a career in clinical anatomy. Master of Science in Clinical Anatomy is a full-time mixed-mode program. The objectives of this program are to produce graduates who can apply human anatomy knowledge in clinical practice, communicate effectively with colleagues and students, and engage in lifelong learning for career development. The program is structured into 4 semesters. The first 2 semesters will include lectures, presentations, practicals, and assignments covering various anatomy subjects such as gross and clinical anatomy, histology and basic genetics, developmental anatomy, neuroanatomy, anatomy education, and biostatistics. In semester 3 and 4, students will be engaged in conducting research and preparing a dissertation.
So we talked all night about the rest of our lives, where we're gonna be when we turn 25. I keep thinking times have never changed. Keep on thinking things will always be the same. But when we leave this year, we won't be coming back. No more hanging out 'cause we're on a different track. And if you got something that you need to say, you better say it right now 'cause you don't have another day. 'Cause we're moving on and we can't slow down. These memories are playing like a film without sound. And I keep thinking of that night in June. I didn't know much of love, but it came too soon. And then was the end, you know, and then we got real blue. Stay at home talking on the telephone, and we would get so excited and we'd get so scared, laughing at ourselves, thinking life's not fair. And this is how it feels. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever.
Been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, and Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fists. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. But she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. I want something just like this. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrolls the suit before he lived. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this.
Okay, so we hope you have enjoyed the video presentation about our MSc in Clinical Anatomy program and also our anatomy department. So now it's time for the highlight of today's event. We are excited to have with us our MSc Clinical Anatomy program coordinator, Dr. Fazlina Kasim, who will be delivering a more detailed briefing on our program. So Dr. Fazlina is a highly dedicated and accomplished academician who has played an important role in the success of our program. Her commitment towards the coordination and management of the program is exceptional. So after Dr. Fazlina's presentation, we will have a Q&A session where you can ask any questions you may have about the program or anything related to clinical anatomy program. So please make sure to prepare your questions. You can put your question in the chat box or you can unmute yourself to talk directly to us. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Dr. Fazlina to the virtual stage to begin her presentation. Dr. Fazlina, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Sham. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Fazlina.
Okay, thank you. So, Assalamualaikum everyone and good day. So, I'm Dr. Fazlina Kasim from Department of Anatomy. I'm the MSc Clinical Anatomy Program Coordinator. So, I'll share you my slides. Okay, okay, can you see my slides? Can
Yes,
everyone
Dr.
see my
Fazlina.
slides? Okay,
Yes.
that's great. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I'll talk about the Master of Science Clinical Anatomy Program. Okay, so I've told you I'm the MSc Clinical Anatomy Program Coordinator. I'm in the Department of Anatomy, School of Medical Sciences, USM. Okay, before I delve into the program, the MSc Clinical Anatomy Program, I'll talk a bit about University Science Malaysia. Okay, University Science Malaysia is established as the second university in Malaysia in 1969, and it has 5 campuses. The main campus, is located at Penang Island here. Okay, and the MSc Clinical Anatomy program is offered at School of Medical Sciences, and School of Medical Sciences is at the Health Campus, USM, and the Health Campus USM is at Kubang Kerian, Kelantan. So it's quite far away from Penang Island, quite far away from the main campus, around 5 to 6 hours drive. Okay, so these are the objectives of the MSc Clinical Anatomy program. So the objectives of the MSc Clinical Anatomy program is to produce graduates who can apply knowledge and skills of human anatomy to clinical practice. And second objective of this program is to produce graduates who can communicate effectively with students and academic members in delivering knowledge in a professional and ethical manner. And the third objective of this program is to produce graduates who can demonstrate management and leadership skills and lifelong learning. Okay, admission requirements of this program. The candidate must have one of the following qualifications. Okay, firstly, the candidate can have MBBS or MD qualification, or Bachelor of Dentistry qualification, or Bachelor of Veterinary Science, or the candidate can have a qualification of bachelor's degree containing human anatomy subjects, example, health sciences, biomedical, pharmaceutical degree. Okay, provided the following additional requirements are fulfilled. Firstly, candidate must obtain CGPA of more than 3, or if the candidate obtains CGPA between 2.75 to 3, the candidate must have at least 3 years experience in relevant fields. And the candidate also must achieve at least grade B in human anatomy subjects. Okay, language requirements for international applicants. International applicants must pass English test, either TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, Cambridge English, Lingua Skill Online, or MUET, with the minimum score as listed down here. Okay, exemption is given to international candidates whose English is their national language, or the candidate has graduated from an institution in which the medium of instruction is English. Okay, fees. Fees includes registration fee, tuition fee. Tuition fee you need to time with 40 credit units. I'll talk about credit units later on. Okay, and also includes convocation fee. For international applicants, it also includes personal bond. So total fee for Malaysian applicants is 16,910, and whereas total fees for international applicants is 7,422 US dollar. Okay, and the fees are subject to change. Okay, MSc Clinical Anatomy program is a mixed mood program, meaning that it consists of coursework and also research work. It's a 2 years full-time course consisting of first semester. In first year, that's semester 1 and semester 2, you'll be undergoing coursework, and the teaching and learning consists of lectures, presentations, practical sessions, online learning using e-learning USM, assignments, example, preparing histological glass slides, and student-directed learning. And second year, consisting of semester 3 and 4, students will need to carry out research work and write dissertation under the guidance of a main supervisor. At the end of first and second semester, there will be exams, written exam and viva exams. And at the end of second year, you will be having a defense dissertation viva. Okay. Curriculum structure. I'll talk about the courses that you'll be going through in this program. Okay, in the first year of the program, it contains 20 credit units. Okay, 20 credit units in first year. So in semester 1 of first year, there will be 3 courses. You need to go through 3 courses. Firstly, gross and clinical anatomy 1, where you will learn about upper limb, lower limbs, thorax, and the organs. And second course is histology and basic genetics. Third course is developmental anatomy, where you will learn about embryology. And total units for first semester is 10 credit units. In second semester, there will be four courses that you will need to go through. Firstly, gross and clinical anatomy 2, where you will learn about head and neck, neuroanatomy and clinical. Third course is anatomy education, and lastly, biostatistics. And total credit units for second semester is 10 credit units. So the total units for first year will be 20 credit units. Okay, in second year, consisting of semester 3 and semester 4, there will only be one course that you need to go through, and that's research and dissertation course, where you need to do research and write dissertation. And this course has 20 credit units. So total credit units for second year is 20 credit units. Total credit units for this program is 40 credit units, 20 credit units in first year and 20 credit units in second year. Okay, in this slide, I have listed down the topics of research completed by previous students. Let's have a look at the first topic here. This topic is concerning related to histopathology, histomorphometry, protective effects of tualang honey on testes and adrenal gland following stress exposure in male rats. In this second topic here is related to anatomy education, perception of anatomy education environment and its association with psychological distress and learning approach among preclinical medical students. The third topic here is related to radiological anatomy, dimensional relationship between sinuses and craniofacial parameters using CT scan. And then the fourth topic is related to neuroanatomy, clinical neuroanatomy, thalamic probabilistic connectivity with cerebral cortex and its correlation with motor outcome in spastic cerebral palsy. And lastly, example of topic research here is related to clinical anatomy, impact of robotic rehabilitation on mid-thigh and calf circumference and functional outcomes of stroke patients. So these are examples of title of research that has been completed successfully by our previous students. Okay, prerequisite course. International students must take the prerequisite course, which is Bahasa Malaysia course, and international students must pass this course, the Bahasa Malaysia course, to graduate the program, the MSc Clinical Anatomy program. Facilities that you can find in the department are histology lab, anatomy museum that you've seen in the previous video, and I'll show you several photos of anatomy museum after this. There's also the cadaver preparation lab, image analyzer, postgraduate students learning space here, where postgraduate students can study and revise in the postgraduate students learning space. And students can also use facilities available in other departments with permission. Okay, these are photos of our anatomy museum. Okay, and here you can see undergraduate students studying and revising in the anatomy museum. And there's also a section in the anatomy museum where you can view histology class slides and also histology virtual slides in the computer provided. And these are examples of a few of the anatomy specimens in our museum. Okay. Okay, and we also have virtual anatomy museum. Virtual anatomy museum, you can view it in our Department of Anatomy website. You can just Google Department of Anatomy USM Malaysia, and Department of Anatomy website will be the first choice that you can see. Okay, and when you get to this website, just click museum and you will be able to view the virtual anatomy museum. Here you can see, you can view the labeled anatomy models, and also you can also view histology virtual slides in this website. Okay, career prospects. This program prepares graduates for future careers such as teaching positions in anatomical sciences and also research positions, example, scientists and researchers. Also prepare graduates for further study options to PhD in anatomical sciences or other disciplines, example, medical genetics, medical education, and also clinical medicine. Okay, so if you choose to be a lecturer, who will you teach? You will teach undergraduates of medical degree programs, Doctor of Medicine program, first and second year Doctor of Medicine program in the preclinical phase. You'll be also teaching undergraduates in the dental program or also allied health programs depending on your institution. And depending also to your institution, you could also be teaching postgraduates, example, postgraduate programs in anatomy or also Master of Medicine programs, first year of Master of Medicine programs, surgical based Master of Medicine programs, and also to postgraduates of other health programs. So what will you be teaching? You can either be teaching either one of these branches of anatomy or a combination of them, gross anatomy, histology, embryology, and neuroanatomy. And you can also be supervising students performing their research. Okay, semester intake is once in a year and it's every October, and teaching and learning sessions usually start in the second or third week of October. Okay, if you need further information regarding MSc Clinical Anatomy program, you can find it at this website, admission at USM website. This is the address of this website. And you can also go to the Department of Anatomy website that I told you earlier. I'll show you the website after this. And you can also email me. This is my email at fazlinakb@usm.my if you have further questions regarding MSc Clinical Anatomy program. You can also view the further information of MSc Clinical Anatomy program in our website. So this is our website. You just click click the academic program tab and click Master of Science Clinical Anatomy, and you can see more information regarding the MSc Clinical Anatomy program. Okay, how to apply for this program? You need to submit an online application via admission at USM website. So this is admission at USM website. This is the website address, and you just need to, okay, before you apply online, you need to register. You need to register into this online application system. And here you need to create your username and also password. To find out how to apply online, to get more information on how to apply online, you just click these tabs, a user guide and user manual, and they will provide you information on how to apply online. If you have more questions regarding application and fees, you can call Institute of Postgraduate Studies, or IPS, at Health Campus USM. This is the phone number, and you can also send an email. This is the email address, admission_ips@usm.my. I think this is email to IPS main campus, but you can ask you can email for them and ask them regarding the email ad for IPS Health Campus. Okay. Application deadline for academic session 2023-2024 for Malaysian applicants, application deadline is on the 30th of September 2023, and for international applicants it's much more earlier, on the 15th June 2023, because international applicants need to apply for visa, and that takes more time. But I strongly advise applicants to submit their application early, much more earlier than the application deadline, because if there are problems in your application, example, not enough documents, the application process will take a longer time, and it could be approved a bit later, and you might be offered for the next academic session, the 2024-2025 academic session, and that will be, the intake will be in October next year, 2024. So to avoid that, please submit your application early. Do not wait the application deadline. Do not wait until the application deadline. Okay, that's all. Thank you from me. Do you any questions from the floor? Skip. I'll unshare. Stop sharing.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fazlina. So we will open for Q&A session. So the participants, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself or you can put your questions in the chat box. Okay, while waiting for the questions from the attendees, perhaps I will read some questions that we have received from the registration form. Okay, first question, how do we want to register? I think Dr. Fazlina have mentioned about it, how much the fee. Do any scholarship provided, Dr. Fazlina?
Okay, scholarships is not provided for by the University of Science Malaysia. University of Science Malaysia does not provide scholarships.
Okay, right. Ada soalan dekat chat box. Ada apa-apa paper yang kita boleh ambil dulu sebelum join program ni?
Paper meaning more information regarding.
Entrance exam ke?
Oh, entrance exam. There's no entrance exam to for you to take to be admitted into this program. You do not need to take any entrance exam. And also interview. Oh, there's no interview. Also, you do not need to undergo any interview to enter this program.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to apply online, as I've told you, described to you in my presentation just now.
Yes. So MEDAC is not a requirement to enter our MSc Clinical Anatomy program lah. Okay.
Right.
Next question. We are still waiting for questions. Okay, you can put your question in the chat box or you can talk to us directly. Next question that we have received through the registration form. How to enroll in the master course, meaning the pathway and the future of Master of Anatomy. Dr. Fazlina?
How to enroll? You need to apply first lah, as I've described in my presentation just now. You need to apply online first, and your application will be processed. There will be several levels. Your application will pass through before it gets to our department to be reviewed and also approved. So it will take some time for your process to reach us and also to be for the process to be completed. And the next question was about
The future of Master of Anatomy. Maybe I think more towards the career.
career. Yeah, I've mentioned just now about you can either be a lecturer or a researcher, or you can also pursue your studies in PhD. And most institutions in Malaysia require you have a PhD to become a lecturer. But there are several private universities that will accept lecturers, will accept those who have masters to become lecturers.
Okay. Next question. What is the pathway to be lecturer for non-clinical subjects, starting from Houseman?
For to become a lecturer for so same thing. You need to apply, send application online, and then approved, and you've undergo your masters. After completed your masters, to become a lecturer, you need to pursue PhD. In most of the universities, as I've mentioned earlier, most of the universities in Malaysia would want their lecturers to have a PhD. But there are several private universities in Malaysia that will accept individuals who have master's degree.
Yeah, I think maybe I can add some. Most of the government university requires full MMC registration, full MPM registration for those who had a background of medical degree. So you have to have a full MPM registration in order to become a lecturer in government universities. But somehow you still have to pursue for your PhD. But in private universities, after you completed your MSc Clinical Anatomy, even though you don't have the full MPM registration number, you can still have job opportunities as a lecturer after you completed your master in private universities, because lots of our alumni have enrolled or got the job from the private universities such as MSU, IMU, and other universities. Okay, any more questions from the attendees in the WebEx? Maybe you can put your questions in the chat box or talk to us directly. Okay, Dr. Fazlina, let's say what research opportunities are available for MSc in clinical anatomy students?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sham. As I've mentioned in my presentation just now, there are several there's unlimited fields in research that you can do in Master of Science Clinical Anatomy, as that I've given examples that I've given to you earlier is our anatomy education, radiological anatomy, clinical anatomy, neuroanatomy, and clinical, and also genetics. You can also pursue research in medical genetics, and also histopathology, histomorphometry. So there are lots of fields that you can explore to do research in MSc Clinical Anatomy.
Okay, Dr. Faz, thank you so much. Any more questions? We are still waiting for the questions. Okay.
And I also would like to strongly advise for international applicants to apply early, because sometimes a visa application takes such a long time. That process of visa application takes such a long time. So I strongly advise applicants to submit their application online early. Do not wait for the deadline. Okay, do not wait for the deadline to submit your application.
Dr. Fazlina, what about the undergraduate students, undergraduate from non-medical base? Can they pursue in our program?
Yes, as I've mentioned in my presentation, for applicants who have degrees in applied health sciences, example pharmacy or radiology or from nursing, uh, they can apply, but there are several but you need to fulfill several additional requirements. Example, your CGPA need to be more than 3, or if you achieved CGPA of 2.75 to 3, you'll need to have at least 3 years experience in the related field. And also for the anatomy subjects in that degree, you need to pass at least, you need to achieve at least grade B. Achieve at least grade B in human anatomy subjects in that degree. Okay. Degree
Okay.
that contains anatomy human subjects, human anatomy subjects.
Right.
Dr. Chamsi, may I add a bit about the previous question just now for fresh
Sure.
graduates or anybody who like to pursue MSc in clinical anatomy? There is limited, at the moment, the scholarship, someone asked about the scholarship earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay, at the moment, as like our coordinator said, Dr. Fazla mentioned just now, there is no scholarship from USM. And last time we have My Brain, okay, but Malaysian government has stopped giving My Brain scholarship. So another alternative is that you can try to get a trainee lecturer post in any public institutions. And after that, once you get that trainee lecturer post, um, you can pursue your study under the scholarships of that universities. Okay, so that is one way to do it. The other thing is, of course, self-funded. But as I mentioned earlier in my welcoming speech, those who have or about 90%, right, 95% of our graduate, they managed to get employment immediately after graduation, because most of them are teachers. I'm sorry, not teachers. They are lecturers in public and private institutions in Malaysia. Yeah, right. So that's another way if you want to have a different dimension of your career, right? If you think that teaching will be will fit your desire, right? You want to change your career as a teacher, as a lecturer, as an academician. So this is one way to do it. Okay. I think this will answer questions from the younger generation, especially medical officers and housemen who like to change their career to academician. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Siti, for your insightful answers. Any more questions? I have one new question. The MSc Clinical Anatomy is just for full-time program. Does it allow any part-time course of this program?
Okay, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that currently only full time. But in the future, I'm not sure whether this will change or not. But currently, it's only for full time.
Okay. Next question from Aisha Juso. If we are already USM staff after completed the program, do we still work at USM or have to go work at other institution?
It depends. I think it depends to the department that you're working at. With the depends with the if you're still it won't matter if you're still working at with them, or you can also your USM staff. If example, if you're a nurse, you can become a lecturer at the PPSK. kan lecturer for nurses, nursing courses.
Yes, correct, Dr. Fazlina. We have our alumni who is a lecturer in dental schools as well, Dr. Hafiza. Okay, so if you are a PPSK staff, right, you can teach anatomy for the allied health sciences students in PPSK, right? So it depends whether there is a post for you after you have completed the studies. But as we mentioned earlier, once you graduated, you have the opportunity to pursue your study to PhD, which actually will open the door for your career progression. Okay, if you are not a lecturer yet, or if you are not a doctor yet, you can get this doctor, right? You can get this PhD and you can become a university lecturer, especially in especially in PPSK, health sciences. Yes, correct. And I think there's one more question, Dr. Shamsi, have missed that. From Shakina Rahim, ada interview tak untuk join masuk program ni?
We've already answered that question.
Oh, answered dah. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, oh yeah. We don't have any interview for applicants to enter this program.
Okay, okay.
I think I understand what Aisha just so asked. If we already USM staff after completed the program, do we still work at USM or have to go work to other institution? We don't have to go to other institution, and it is because we already contract with USM, so we are not going to be sent to other university lah.
Yes, provided that when you pursue the study in MSc Clinical Anatomy, that is under USM scholarship, for example, like for USM scholarship at SLABS line. So of course your bond with USM will be will be extended. So you have to work in USM. But if you are self-funded, for example, you take leave, 2 years leave just to pursue your study. I think that is your option whether you want to change to other institution if you have more better offer. Like for example, like us in School of Medical Sciences, usually those who um, uh, uh, take these courses, okay, we are the trainee lecturer in School of Medical Sciences. So when we when we take these courses, we is fully funded. We are fully funded by the SLAB, okay, by school, okay, by JPA. So it's under USM. So we need to work here, okay, because our contract is but it depends actually. I'm not sure whether other institutions, I mean like other schools, they allow their staffs to go to pursue study specific in MSc Clinical Anatomy. I think it wouldn't be a problem because like in PPSG, we have one lecturer, already a anatomy lecturer there, and PPSK, I think we still don't have any alumni from PPSK, right? So I think that would be a good opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Siti. What about the chances or rates of employability of our graduates? How do other universities recognize the graduates from our course?
As what Prof. Madia, Dr. Siti, Associate Professor Dr. Siti has mentioned earlier, most of our graduates, around 90% of our graduates are employed after they graduate. Yeah, most of our graduates are employed, had managed to grab a job after they have graduated, and I believe there are many universities, especially in Malaysia, that needs anatomists that do not have enough anatomists. Example, UNIMAS, University Malaysia Sarawak, they also need more anatomists.
Yeah, even uh, the what the university like IMU, MSU, they also offer they are actually really in need of anatomies lah. Even a few last year they actually offer to our students that is not actually graduated yet. So they are really lacking of the anatomy lecturer lah.
Mhm. All right, we still allow for more questions from the attendees. So if we have no more question, I think we can wrap up Dr. Fazlina's presentation. So
Thank you,
once
Dr.
again,
Sham.
thank you, Dr. Fazlina, for that comprehensive presentation on our MSc Clinical Anatomy program. Okay, so I think we have more attendees just join us. So I think we can play one more round for our video presentation. So please sit back and enjoy the video presentation before we move on to our next slot. Master of Science in Clinical Anatomy is a full-time mixed-mode program. The objectives of this program are to produce graduates who can apply human anatomy knowledge in clinical practice, communicate effectively with colleagues and students, and engage in lifelong learning for career development. The program is structured into 4 semesters. The first 2 semesters will include lectures, presentations, practicals, and assignments covering various anatomy subjects such as gross and clinical anatomy, histology and basic genetics, developmental anatomy, neuroanatomy, anatomy education, and biostatistics. In semester 3 and 4, students will be engaged in conducting research and preparing a dissertation.
So we talked all night about the rest of our lives, where we're gonna be when we turn 25. I keep thinking times will never change. Keep on thinking things will always be the same. When we leave this year, we won't be coming back. No more hanging out 'cause we're on a different track. And if you got something that you need to say, you better say it right now 'cause you don't have another day. 'Cause we're moving on and we can't slow down. These memories are playing like a film without sound. And I keep thinking of that night in June. I didn't know much of love, but it came too soon. And it was me and you, and then we got real blue. Stay at home talking on the telephone, and we would get so excited and we get so scared, laughing at ourselves, thinking life's not fair. And this is how it feels. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together.
books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fists. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. But she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. I want something just like this. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrolls the suit before he lived. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this.
Okay, so once again, we hope you enjoyed the video presentation about our MSc program and also our anatomy department. We would like to invite you to enroll in our department. Our lecturers are very kind, are very friendly. The supporting staffs are also welcoming you to enroll in our program. Okay, so now we will be moving on to our next slot, which is an MSc Alumni Experience Sharing Forum. So this forum will be moderated by one of our lecturers, Dr. Faizah Maknawi. And during this forum, you will have the opportunity to hear from our alumni about their experiences in the program, the skills and the knowledge they have acquired, and how their MSc in clinical anatomy journey has impacted their careers. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Dr. Faizah to begin the Alumni Experience Sharing Forum. So Dr. Faizah, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Shamsi, for the lovely passover, I guess. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here and welcome to our Alumni Sharing Experience Forum. My name is Dr. Faizah binti Maknawi, okay, and I am your acting moderator for today's program. Please keep in your mind that this forum is entirely casual, and so please omit any formalities because we are here today to have fun while getting to know our three different batches of anatomy alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, before introducing our three phenomenal panelists, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for your participation in our virtual open day. Thank you very much. I hope that this sharing experiences is beneficial where you can make the right choice and truly get inspired by the career advancement made by our local, as well as actually we have international anatomy alumni. So I bet everyone can't wait to meet our alumni panelists. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first panelist, Associate Professor Dr. Tengku Fatimah Murniwati binti Tengku Muda. She is from University Sultan Zainal Abidin, UNIZA. Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam.
How are you, Prof?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. We
Alhamdulillah.
are still in holy month of Ramadan, so Ramadan Kareem to you, Prof.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
You too.
Uh, Associate Professor Dr. Tengku Fatimah Murniwati binti Tengku Muda is currently practicing at the Faculty of Medicine in UNIZA, and she is graduated from USM in MSc Clinical Anatomy in 2010. She studied her degree of medicine also in USM, and as an anatomy lecturer, her area of research and specialization including clinical anatomy, medical education, as well as the anatomy education. She is actively involved in teaching, consultation, research, administrative affairs, and even the community services. Thank you again, Prof, for spending your precious time to be with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. And
Hope you can
our
share something.
yes,
Okay.
of course, Prof. And our second panelist, actually we have Dr. Haziq Hazman from IMS MSU, and he is supposed to join us today. But due to some circumstances, sadly, he couldn't be able to join with us today. Fortunately, okay, we are lucky to have Dr. Hafizah binti Ghani instead. Dr. Hafizah, are you here?
Yes, yeah,
Thank you, Dr. Hafizah. We really appreciate your presence.
no problem.
Dr. Hafizah Ghani is a senior lecturer in School of Dental Sciences, USM. She is currently the head of the Craniofacial Anatomy course in School of Dental Sciences. And she is the dental anatomy alumni, and she is graduated in 2012. And he is also a PhD holder in neuroscience. She teaches anatomy to undergraduate dental students and postgraduate, and as well as a postgraduate dental sciences. We have our third panelist from UAE. However, because of the time zone differences, he probably will join us sooner. So we start first, and then we welcome our third panelist after he able to join us. Welcome on board to both of our panelists. So let's get right to our first questions. If I may ask Prof. Tengku Murni, what made you choose the MSc Clinical Anatomy program? Was it really your passion at first? And how did it help to achieve your career goal? The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, thank you for inviting me to join this one. I hope, as you mentioned before, it's not a formal forum. So anybody can, I think maybe can ask, okay, you can interrupt when I'm saying something. So as I think I'm one of the uh, initial anatomy students in USM, I think there are a lot of improvement in the anatomy program itself. But that time, if you ask me, what can I say? Sometimes you enter the program is the program which you choose. Okay, you really want to become an anatomy lecturer, but for me, it's like by chance because I already initially I already joined a master program in pediatric, MED program in pediatric, but due to health reason, so there's some problem with my health status during that time. So I need to quit the pediatric is very hectic physically and mentally. So I couldn't pursue my med. So I quit. And for a while, I have to decide which field is suitable for me. So luckily during that time, when I go and meet the dean, Prof. Zabidi, that time, if I'm not mistaken, he offered to join PPSP as a trainee lecturer in anatomy because we are lacking anatomy lecturers during that time. So I think it's a good opportunity for me also because I think during my childhood also I want to be a doctor or a teacher. So now I can become both lah. I already have a degree in MD, become a doctor. Now I have a chance to become a teacher, join as a lecturer, so I can teach student as well. So I think that is the moment when I decide to join anatomy program, and I joined first as a trainee lecturer, join and be there for about 1 year before I joined the master program. So I think after that I'm happy with my choice. So Alhamdulillah, I think now I can say not so ambitious, but I think I'm quite comfortable with my career pathway. Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
think that's all.
Prof. I didn't know that you are from the MMed piece that you did like 180, I think, from the MMed to the MSc program.
Yes, yes. Because
Yeah.
sometimes the way you choose your master program is when you are in that field for quite some time, because I was a pediatric MO for quite some time. So I think I'm quite familiar and then quite interested to join. But due to certain reason, I cannot pursue my MMed. So I have to quit, even though I'm sad. I have to quit. So I have to find other course as well. So sometimes the way you decide also, you have to think of yourself. Your personal interest is one thing, but yourself, if you are capable, and then your family, your life. So sometimes we have to balance. To become a pediatric at that time was very hectic. I think you have to become a personal personality type A. You have to work, I think 24/7 anytime when you are called, they are on call anytime. You can go. You need to go to the hospital, attend the patient. So during that time, I have some health problems, health reasons, so I cannot pursue. I don't think I can work like that for my whole life. So I think because my husband also a physician, so I don't want to, not to say sacrifice lah. I think one of us need to step back a little bit. So I choose to become a lecturer. Not to say that it's not busy, it's busy, but I think we can manage it better lah. Working office hours, so we can manage properly, and then we can go back and you have life, enjoy life with your family as well.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. I think there's always, we call it as hikmah to everything that happens, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Actually, our third panelist has joined us. Prof. Associate Prof. Abu Bakr, are you here with us today? I'm sorry,
Cannot
Prof. We
hear you,
can't
Prof.
really hear. Yes.
We cannot hear you. Maybe you need to
You
unmute.
maybe you can unmute your microphone, Prof.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, yes, Prof. Can you hear us?
No, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Okay. Your sound is okay, but sound like quite far.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
going
it's
to
better
ask
now.
because I don't know. It seems that the headphones are not
It's
working.
better now, Prof.
Yeah, is it good now?
Yes, it's good now.
Perfect.
Okay, before that, let me introduce our third panelist. Okay, we have with us today is Assistant Professor Dr. Abu Bakr Haji Mosa from University of Sharjah, UAE. How are you, Prof?
Alhamdulillah. It's
Alhamdulillah.
a pleasure to meet people from Jabatan Anatomy. I still remember a few words. And my colleagues, Noor Hafiz, I can see her smiling. Yeah,
Yeah, despite of your busy schedule, I know. Okay. Thank you for being here now.
sure, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
I hope that we have more free time to attend it from the beginning, actually. Yeah,
Next time, Prof, inshallah.
inshallah.
Okay, let me introduce, okay, Prof. Abaka, who is graduated from our USM MSc Clinical Anatomy program in 2012, and he has been awarded with Dean List for his 2 years outstanding performance, and subsequently, he pursued his study in a graduate diploma of clinical research and PhD in experimental surgery, and he completed his PhD in 2020. And then he also graduated with a GPA of 4 flat, right, Prof?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, yes.
And has received an excellent graduate awards from those years. Prof. Al-Bakar is an active researcher with plethoric publications. He is a regular award receiver, I must say.
Alhamdulillah.
And he is the most lawyer conference participant ever from his resume, and he is also a great educator who is very enthusiastic in promoting teaching and learning of anatomy. Prof. Awaka has been involved in many areas of expertise, and from the start of his master degree, he evolved with the radio anatomy, and then animal study, and then to the cell biology, and then vast research on the clinical applied towards related to the urology, and recently is anatomy education, right, Prof?
Alhamdulillah, yes. I hope so. Yes,
Amazing, Prof.
that description fits perfectly, inshallah. Yes.
Thank you, Prof. So we start with our question with Tengku Moni. We have here our panelist, Tengku Moni, as you already know, and Dr. Hafizah, right?
Yeah, I know. I know most of the people here. I went through the list. I know
Alumni. Yeah,
Frida,
we meet again.
no,
How
no,
are
I
you,
know
Abaka?
very much most of the attendees.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Okay, Prof. If I may ask, what made you choose the MSc Clinical Anatomy program? Was it really your interest at first, and how this our program achieve your career goals?
Yes. I have to say that sometimes things doesn't go as you choose. I maybe got the last few words of Prof. Maida that sometimes you would like to go for some specialty, but you cannot go through it. Because, when we go to medical school, usually we think of being a doctor in the wards, running from here, there, checking patients, treating them. Sometimes maybe the situation, maybe the politics, because in our from my country, Iraq, it was really hard at that time. We have war, we have everything that interrupted my studies in the medical field. But I can say that I was lucky to join the academia because after finishing my internship, I couldn't get into a postgraduate position due to the politics. So I got a job in a medical school that was newly established in anatomy department. And why anatomy department? I love anatomy. And alhamdulillah, at that time, I got anatomy position. Biochemistry was full, physiology was full, and that was the situation. So I worked there as an instructor in the lab for 3 years, during which I found myself in teaching. I was very much interested in teaching. But academia is not only teaching, you have to document your experience with a degree and you have to know the principles of research and medical education. So I searched everywhere about for a master's degree because that could be the first step to specialize in anatomy. I searched in the Middle East and the Far East, the West. I found that the program that was offered in USM as a suitable one from different aspects. The ranking of the university is, mashallah, great compared to the international and regional area. The second thing, the reasonable fees were good because at that time I had a small family, and the cost is something that I need to take care of, and the ease of travel to and back from Malaysia. Because for Iraqis at that time, it was easy to get a visa in the airport. So the first time I went to Malaysia generally, going around to Kuala Lumpur, USM, and visited different areas. I went to Penang, asking about master programs. I'm not going to mention the university, but I went to one of the universities in Kuala Lumpur, and I met the chairperson at that time, and she was a lady. I told her that I would like to go to Masters of Anatomy. She said, "Oh, why you are coming here? Leave it for females." I said, "Come on." So this was the answer. So I really was like, okay, goodbye. So when I applied for the USM, I got the admission and I found that this is the best step to go because as you are having just the basic degree, if you don't want to go and you would like to continue with academics, then studying master is the most important step. And I repeat again here, masters should be done in a good university because here where you are going to get the basics of research, biostatistics, and the theory. These are equally important if you would like to join the academia. Now, it is not only about studying anatomy, it's about preparing yourself to become an academician. And this is what I found in the program of the masters in Malaysia, that they prepare you in the subject, which is anatomy. There are dissections, there is coursework that is evaluated by different ways. And at the same time, there is an introduction to research. Like it is a rich research experience for a master student, especially when you are coming from medical background. In the medical school, research is not something that we focus on. Yes.
Thank you, Prof. I think it's very, first step is always harder, right?
Yes.
And then subsequently it will become smoother, inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah.
How about Dr. Hafiza? Can you give some insight about this? How about your experience in joining anatomy at first?
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Assalamualaikum Waka. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Long time no see. My batchmate last
Yes.
time.
Yeah, sure, correct.
Yeah. My first actually I have a dental background, so before I'm joined USM, so I'm one of the dental officers in health ministry. So I joined dental school in USM as a trainee lecturer. Okay, so that time in my mind I want to be one of the clinical lecturer. But during that time, the former Dean, Prof. Rashid, they want to find a basic science lecturer. So he appointed me to become one of the anatomy lecturer. So for me, I don't have like, that time I don't have like a specific interest yet. So I challenged myself, why not? Okay, I'm learn anatomy. And then to polish up my anatomy subject, because 3 years in service, sometimes most of the anatomy knowledge will like fade in your time. So I need to find a master course that provide a mixed mode like teaching and research. So that's why I'm choose USM as a place for me to do my master program. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiza. I think most of our three panelists at first have a different interest and then they think again and again, do their research, and then finally found their place in anatomy. All right, back to Prof. Tengku Murni. From your own perspective, what are the advantages of pursuing a master in clinical anatomy at USM instead of similar program provided at another institution?
First and foremost, I'm not really sure about how they conduct anatomy program in other university, but in general, I think some university they do anatomy master program as a research mode, right? I think some research mode and some mixed mode. From my personal opinion, I think mixed mode for anatomy, I think mixed mode is more beneficial for the for those who want to become a lecturer, because first it really emphasizes again all the topics, anatomy topics, and in more, I mean, maybe detail compared to what you study before during your undergraduate, because sometimes you already forget what you learned before. So now it refresh back your knowledge per se, and then on top of that, it also allow you to train to become a lecturer, right? Because there are some presentation and some involvement during the practical session. So it really prepare you to teach later on. If I think if you join the research uh, mode, I think at the end you just master in the research skill, but not in the teaching aspect, teaching skill. I think teaching is also one of the teaching skills, also one of the most important uh, important skill that you need to master before you become a lecturer. Right. I think nowadays when I listen to what Dr. Fazina forgot to mention, I'm also, I mean, quite senior, and then with Dr. Fazlina, Dr. Siti, we also Dr. Apa tu, Dr. Aiman, we graduate together last time. So as Dr. Abu Bak say, we are, most of us are alumni. I mean, we have experience working together before, studying together, working together. So when I listened to Dr. Fazlina just now, Dr. Fazlina said tell all the topics. I think there is anatomy education subject nowadays. Last time we have comparative anatomy, so quite interesting. We learn about anatomy of some animals, which maybe they think is not really important for clinical anatomy, so it was removed. But last time, I think we enjoy a bit because one, as I say, working together, learning together with friends in a friendly environment. So you have a lot of experience. I mean, maybe not formal, but from informal teaching when you study in USM. So I think it's quite an advantage to be in USM. But maybe it's not fair because I don't have experience studying in other place. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Teguh. I think I agree that mixed mode actually it is not disadvantage, it's actually in fact advantage. It is prepare a student to become not only a researcher but a educator to reach to teach students how to be a good educator. Dr. Hafiza, what about you? What is your opinion on pursuing a master in our in USM itself, not choosing other institution instead?
All right. Uh, yeah. Actually, um, actually for me, I think it's not many universities that offers a mixed mode program, right? I mean, have both, most of them offers MSc, a master by science. I mean, research mode. Yeah. And then, yeah, to become an academics, you need to have balance between, I mean, teaching and between research. Okay, so for me, USM is, I mean, postgraduate is a very good platform for those who want to become academia later. Okay, because here in the US in this course, okay, they provide the full teaching, okay, so that you have like proposal presentation, okay. In second years, we have like a full, I mean, you need to do full research, so everything, I mean, you can have in the anatomy, I mean, in this course lah. Okay. That's my point. Yeah.
I agree with what Dr. Hafiza said. Okay, Prof. Abu Bak, If may I ask, how did our MSc program here prepare you for your current career, and what skills did you gain that have been particularly valuable to you? Any comment, Prof? Prof. Abaka still here with us?
Maybe the connection, but internet
Yeah,
connection.
I think maybe we can pass these questions to Prof. Murni. How did our MSc program has prepared you?
Dah tahu.
Are you able to
Okay.
hear us, Prof. Abu Bakr? Is your connection is okay now?
I can hear you now, yes.
Yeah. If I ask, may I ask you that how did our MSc program here has prepared you for your current career, and what are the skills did you gain that have been particularly valuable to you? Any comment, Prof?
It's for me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe before I start, I just want to add one point to what my Dr. Maida and Nur Hafiza mentioned about the course. Actually, the duration of 2 years is something that is suitable, because I know in other areas it could be 3 years, unnecessarily 3 years actually, because the coursework is every time you study it, later on when you teach it, you remember it. So spending long time on the coursework is something useless. I believe that. Comment on the course of the comparative anatomy. Actually, I enjoyed it, and it is very important when you do animal studies. I just learned from you now that they replaced it by medical education, which is really, really should be added to this course. But still, the comparative anatomy helped when I started my animal work. It is a very important part that we can add also to anatomy. It's not just, and also when you teach embryology, it's very nice to tell students about the differences between humans and other animals. Yeah. So how it's prepared, I can summarize this in main points. The first one is the knowledge that you need to have to teach anatomy. So when you are exposed to anatomy from head to toe, histology, embryology, osteology, and anatomy knowledge, that prepares you to teach anatomy actually. The practical part of the course where we were dissecting a cadaver, this is also a very important experience to anatomy educator. That's number one. Number two, prepared me for the research. The course starts with you research from scratch, from answering the research question till being able to publish. The amount of workshops, even if you find that the course was not enough or didn't give you everything, there are a lot of workshops about scientific writing, scientific publication, the biostatistics courses that are offered, intermediate, advanced. All these are available to the students that prepare them to become researchers. That's an important part. The third part actually is the personality, the skills that you learn during the course when you are doing, as Prof mentioned, the hands-on experience of presentation, writing the thesis. All these are experiences, the skills that a teacher or a lecturer needs in the future. So I believe that this is really, I was equipped with the master's program, and I found the effect of it actually when I went to do my PhD in Canada. I can tell you that I was very confident in writing the proposal, doing the statistics for my supervisor. I became the magician, because the one who knows statistics is good. So I was the magician in the lab. Anyone would like to because they think that statistics is a lie. You can do everything in statistics just to showcase that your results make sense. And who can do that? Statistician. I can say that 70 or 80% of my statistics knowledge came from USM. It was very strong experience in USM, and I still keep the booklets that we bought together. Nur Hafiza from Dr. What's her name? Shame. I have to remember her name. The head of the biostatistics, what's her name?
Hatim?
Hatim.
Yes,
Hatim.
yes. Yeah, so I'm still having them in my bag all the time if I need to use the SPSS or anything. So definitely it helped there. The animal knowledge also that I have helped me too much when I started my animal work. So don't underestimate any part of the course. Everything is very important. It's a cumulative knowledge that you are going to 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 use in the future.
Thank you, Prof. It's amazing to hear this from you. What about Prof. Dr. Hafiza? Can you share some of skills that you gain from our program?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hafiza. Dr. Hafiza, Dr. Faiza. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Actually, from this course, I mean, I can find my strength lah. I mean, which part that I have most interest on. I mean, amongst all the anatomy subject like embryology, histology. So I think I like the most neuroanatomy. That's why I have pursued my study in my PhD in neuroscience in University of Leeds. And then I agree with Abu Bakar when it comes to statistic. No, nobody can challenge USM. Even though I'm in the United Kingdom, I mean in the UK, University of Leeds, UK. So I mean, in terms of statistic knowledge, I mean, for me, we have more compared to them. Like even in animal study, I've did animal study in my PhD. Even in the sample size calculation, they don't do that. They just assume, okay, 3 is enough, 4 is enough, something like that. and then in when it comes to my thesis, so we we add on the some sample size calculations and I think now they implement that. I mean, they put some sample size calculation parts in our methods. And last time they don't have that lah. Okay, so that's the skill that I have from other than all the knowledge skill from the anatomy. So the research part also helped me a lot during my PhD program last time. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiza. I think I really feel lucky too because I'm also from here. Okay, Dr. Tekumurni, okay, how has our MSc program has impacted your personal and professional growth so far? Can you comment on this?
Okay. So personally, I think one thing is to become a lecturer. I think maybe become a lecturer. So the course really prepare us. I think same like Prof. Bakar, Fiza tell us just now, provide us with all the skills which is necessary to become a lecturer. Because when you choose this pathway, basically you are going to become a lecturer, and become a lecturer, one thing is the knowledge per se, because you are teaching the student again all the knowledge wise about the anatomy. On top of that, you are also expected to become a researcher, because being a lecturer, you need to involve in research, and then you need to publish. So these are all the things that I think the program, even though within 2 years, it's already give us all the fundamentals. I think the fundamentals for us to start somewhere, but as we go along, maybe from our own experience, we gain the experience, we can progress more. But at least from that foundation, I think it's really give me a strong base to become independent, become a lecturer, and become to say a researcher. But sorry to say, I am not really interested in lab work, so and like animal study. So my interest may be different from Abu Bakar. So last time also I struggled to finish my animal study research for that master program. we don't have anatomy education per se last time, but now with experience is anatomy. I think apart from lab work, you have a clinical anatomy as well. You can joint venture with all the clinician doing research. I think I know some doing cell culture to develop certain tissue. Some work with the maybe radiologists, clinician per se, also pure clinical anatomy. But now with the I think people realize more on the anatomy education, which is also important part in anatomy per se. We have medical education to look all the medical program, but as I go along, I think my interest is more on towards education. As I say last time, I want to become a doctor and a teacher. So maybe because of that, my interest is more on anatomy education. So now with Dr. Siti, we also doing research in anatomy curriculum. My batch, I think I'm quite senior already, so I skip the time where by all lecturer compulsory to have PhD. So for me, it's not compulsory for me PhD. With MSc alone, I can become a lecturer, but I think the juniors they have to have a PhD. But for my own interest, I did pursue my PhD. I mean, with my supervisor is Dr. Siti herself. The supervisor is Dr. Associate Prof. Dr. Saiful, Dr. Siti husband in medical education. Actually, I do in medical education. So medical education, but my research is more on anatomy curriculum. So our aim is actually to improve the anatomy curriculum nationally, because I think there are so many ways of teaching anatomy in different institutions. So I think at least to have a guideline or the baseline, what is the most important thing, so that everybody get the same not really the same, but at least the foundation of what is important to teach the undergraduate student. But still unlucky for me, unlucky for me, I managed to do it PhD halfway only. So still Allah give me another gift with my age, very senior, but I got a baby. And but with that baby also I got some medical problem, medical condition which not allow me to pursue my study. So I have to stop my PhD journey, even though I'm very sad because I hope I can finish that study. But I have to decide also. So twice I decided. Last time when I did a master in pediatric, now my PhD also I have to decide halfway. But even though I didn't finish my PhD, the work is still going on. Dr. Siti and I think the new PhD candidate, Dr. Aisha, I think is continuing that study. So I hope in the future we can come out also with the anatomy curriculum for the guideline for all medical institution in Malaysia, inshallah.
Inshallah, thank you, Prof. Those are really inspiring stories. How about you, Prof. Abakar? We are aware that how impressive your resume is, and this could you share your personal opinion on how our MSc program has impacted your personal and professional growth so far?
Yeah, I'll start with the personal. The first thing that you learn if you come to Kelantan is to become humble and friendly, because people here are very friendly, extraordinarily friendly, and people are humble. Maybe if someone of you visited other areas in the world, people are kind of naggy, they are cocky, they just would like to show off. People in Malaysia in general and in Kelantan and specifically are humble. They know. There is a poem in Arabic when you say "Mal as-sanabil tanhali bitawadha," which means that the tree that is full of fruit usually bends down. The tree that's empty goes up. So these people who are all the time proud of themselves, they are usually empty. So this is what I found. This is on the personal part. Professionally, I'm not going to repeat myself. Knowledge in anatomy, uh, skills for research. So I can tell now that any subject in anatomy I can teach. Sometimes when I do interviews, they ask me, "What can you do? What can you teach?" I tell them I can't teach anything. And what about research, I can tell you that with the knowledge about research design, writing proposals, writing fund application that I attended in USM, I helped my PhD supervisor to write 2 to 3 fund application. Some of them, the range of the fund was between 30,000 K to 500,000 K for 5 years, like a functioning fund. That's the tawfiqullah, first of all, like blessing of God, and then the knowledge, the skills that I gained during my masters. Yes.
Thank you, Prof. That's very inspiring. And one thing I love being moderating this program, especially talking with a person coming from call it as a Arabic world, you know. I always
Yes.
incorporated your talk with the hadith and Quran, and
Yes.
so we like those combination of thought. It's very inspiring,
Yeah.
and as we relate to our beliefs.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, Dr. Hamiza, what challenges did you face in your study, and how did you manage and overcome them during those MSc years? Can you comment on this?
Tak dengar lah.
Dr. Hamiza, you may unmute your microphone.
Yeah, yeah. During last during last time, during MSc program, of course there is I mean like a lot of challenges for me lah, because I have like a dental background. Okay, so during that time my anatomy topic is not that strong, so I'm a bit weak, especially in the gross anatomy part, and which topic? I like the embryology part, the neuroanatomy. I think last time I have problem with the gross anatomy, or some histology subject, I think. But with the support from our lecture last time, yeah, my supervisors, Dr. Noma, okay, and then the Kumuni and also lectures there. So I managed to, to finish my study last time in 2 years, Alhamdulillah. And then, yes, yeah, I think that's the one. I mean, the subject itself lah is quite tough for me. Yeah, but Alhamdulillah, managed to go through. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Every achievement has a story behind it, right? Since the Prof. Abu Bakar has need to leave us in 10 minutes because he's have another class. So I think we may wrap up our session. And I have one question to ask you, Prof. Abu Bakar, before you leave.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, what would be your advice to our future students who are considering the similar pathways?
Considering what? Sorry.
Considering this pathway as
Yeah,
an
this
anatomist.
pathway. Yeah. So the first advice actually is to follow the program, because the program was designed by excellent educators. I have to admit this. So the program, for the outcomes, don't hesitate to read the course description, because this is going to help you a lot to know what is expected from you. That's first part. Attendance, reading the books, read outside the books. It is not only the book, because now knowledge is everywhere in the publications. Sometimes this opens a lot of tracks, raises a lot of questions, because you shouldn't be a classical student. You have to think outside the textbook, because people are doing a lot of research now. Even the old anatomy terminologies, or the old anatomy facts, are now discussed and disputed. So you need to go outside the textbooks. This is number one. Take care of the classes that are about research, statistics. Do your research, the half of your master's on scientific basis. Listen, be patient with your supervisors. I learned a lot from Dr. Zul. I have to greet him now, and Prof. Maida also, because they were my supervisor and co-supervisor. I learned a lot from them. You have to be also kind of flexible, because at that time when I was doing my master's, I couldn't go into animal work. So there was a suggestion from Dr. Zul. What can we do? Do you think we can do something that is not related to wet labs? Then we found, because the university is attached to a great hospital, very huge hospital. And in that hospital, there is a huge record. There are huge records of patients. CT scans, MRIs, chest x-rays, abdominal x-rays, bone x-rays. This is a very great resource of anatomy research. So you can do a research with 100 ringgits cost, 200 ringgits, which sometimes you go outside to eat with your family, you spend 200 ringgits. A research with 200 ringgits is something great, because people are paying thousands of dollars just to get something. So you can get use of this resource. The clinical radioanatomy part is an important part that students can utilize in addition to the medical education. I think this is a very wise direction that the department went through, because I can see here, and when I was working in the North America, they were crazy about medical education, because now anatomy, people think that, okay, the lab part of anatomy is not very much interesting. You are studying gross things, but education is the thing that is in anatomy now is witnessing revolution. So I have to be very familiar with medical education terminologies, course design. Anatomy now cannot be taught alone. It's not a solo subject. It is integrated in other subjects. So I have to go beyond knowing anatomy only. Try to attend classes that mix anatomy and physiology, anatomy and biochemistry, anatomy and developmental anatomy. That's very important to advance your career and have a lot of interests, because later on what counts is how many aspects in your research interest are there. So that is going to increase the scope of your job opportunities in the future, how you teach, how you manage your classes. All this is very important for future students that they need really to take care of.
Thank you, Prof. Those advices are really inspiring, I guess, and this is very valuable. What about any last piece of advice from Prof. Tengku Murni before we end our session?
Oh, I mean, you already ended, nah? Okay. First and foremost, I think you, all the candidates need to decide what you want for your future, right? Because nowadays sometimes what we want maybe is not the best interest for you right now also, because now I think because of the contract problem, everything, you cannot have a permanent post as a medical doctor. So sometimes you have to go to other pathway, not become a clinical specialist as you want to be like last time. So other option is, one of it is become a lecturer. So one of the basic sciences lecture I mean field is as a anatomy lecturer, because to become anatomy lecturer also you have very wide range of career that you can develop. You can become a very good I mean educator per se. You can involve in research regarding the education, how to teach, what is the best way to teach anatomy. Also nowadays we don't have a really one way how to teach the best way. So everything is keep on, I mean, maybe keep on growing, but most of them is actually like complementary or complement each other. So one, you want can become a good researcher also. You become anatomy lecturer, but you focus more as a scientist, as a research. You can go lab work, whatsoever, genetic, cell biology, cell culture. There's a lot of field you can become a scientist apart from become a lecturer. And then I think to publish, and then sometimes as a lecturer you can have pathway like administrator. Later on, we can become somebody in the university. I mean, well-known public figure for that university also. So first, as I mentioned, you decide you will want to maintain in the clinical field or you want to join the non-clinical field, because I mean things that you cannot avoid is you yourself, personal self, your family, your life. Okay, when you want to decide you want to become a clinician, you need to know what you need to sacrifice, okay, to become a clinician. Last time also, when I decide to quit as a anatomy, as a pediatrician, I know I cannot live like that, because I cannot, for me myself, I salute my friend who become a pediatricians or NG specialist. Okay, they can work and they can become a good mom, very macam iron lady lah, a good wife, a good mom. But for me, I cannot handle all those things. So I choose the pathway which I think I can serve what I know to teach the future medical profession. So I choose this pathway to teach. At the same time, I also have time for myself to focus on my own life and my family. So you have to decide yourself lah what you want for your future. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Dr. Moni. I think most of us having actually facing those kind of situation, and as you said, we must actually find our own way, try to view our life in different angles so that we can try to achieve what we can in our life. Lastly, Dr. Nur Hafiza, any last piece of advice would you like to share with our future students who are considering these pathways?
All right. Thank you, Dr. Faiza. Yeah. Actually, for me, like because I have a dental background, it's like rare, rare that dental background they choose anatomy as their master, master. I mean, as their master actually. Um, so this also be one of the career pathway for the dental grads. Okay, so other than they choose a clinical pathway to pursue, so they also have chances in I mean basic science, because last time usually medical usually will pursue their study in physiology, anatomy, pharmacology, but because we have like I mean, it seems like, oh, maybe dental student cannot pursue in this area. But nowadays, okay, there are few I mean dental that have dental background. I mean have involved in this in basic science. Like here in dental school, we have I mean dental background that pursue in pharmacology, like in anatomy, and then I think none from and physiology also. So this also like another options, okay, in career pathway, not only in the medical field, and also same goes to the dental field. So now I can advise my student, okay, other than you want to go to the clinical part, or we can go to the basic science part. So there is no harm, I mean, for dental to learn I mean, basic science, but because in postgraduate also, like here we also have a postgraduate clinical, so we need I mean lecturer in basic science, okay, to also be involved in the basic science course. So we need lah, okay, dental graduate that have pursued in the basic science course. Yes.
Sikit lagi, may I add? Once
yes,
you
of course,
decide,
of course.
once you decide, just now kan, like Dr. Hafiza said, you decide clinical or non-clinical field you want to. But once you decide, like say you want basic sciences, you want anatomy, so you decide also which university provide the best program and best environment. Program is one thing. I mean, I think the best program for me is this mixed mode which USM provide. But from my experience, I think others also agree, the environment itself, the study environment, you can have a good program, but if the study environment doesn't really help you, so it's macam stressful to study as well. But in USM, I think it's quite a friendly environment. You can get most help from all the lecturers, all the staff as well. As I mentioned before, my struggle is to finish that animal study because I also afraid to hold the mice. So thank you so much to ID is still here, Harisa is still here. They are the one to help me to hold the mouse and to feed the mouse. And you want to do, but practical wise, sometimes you need help. So I wonder, I think we couldn't have that much help in other institution compared to USM. So thank you so much to everybody who helped me before this. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
Thank
Faizal,
I
you.
agree. Yeah.
okay.
So I agree with Dr. Muni. So I mean, I want to take this opportunity to thanks to all my lecturer, okay, and then the support staff that helped me during my journey of MSc program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiza and Prof. Tengku Murni. I think from the talk, I can conclude that for our future students, try to explore more what do you want in your career pathway, and if you are determined to be in, for example, in clinical or non-clinical, do your search and explore what are there, so that you don't have to be you don't have that kind of feeling, regretful feeling in the future, inshallah. I think that's all due to time constraint. I think it's better for us to end up our session here. However, there is no Q&A session because of the time constraint. If our audience have any question to be asked, I think they may approach Prof. Tengku Murni or Dr. Hafiza through email, I believe. Is it okay?
Boleh. Can.
Okay, thank you, Prof. And Alhamdulillah, finally we have come to the end of our sharing experience forum from our three panelists. And on behalf of my department, we would like to say again thank you to both of you, our panelists, for the inspiring and interesting sharing session. Hopefully, this forum will be beneficial to those who are really interested to join us, and we hope to see you in the upcoming semester in October this year. And thank you for attention, and I would like to pass over the virtual floor back to Dr. Shamsi Amalina. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Dr. Gia. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Faiza, for moderating that insightful and informative alumni experience sharing forum. And to our amazing panelists, thank you for taking the time to share your experiences and insights with us. We know that you all have busy schedules, and we appreciate your willingness to take the time to be a part of this event. And we hope that your experiences have been inspiring and informative to our participants. Okay, so now we are moving to the end of the event, but before that, I would like to welcome everyone to a short photography session. Please turn on your camera so that we can take a group photo together. Okay. Please feel free to turn on your video for the photography session. Okay, so if you are ready, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, one more time, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Right.
you.
Okay. So I would like to thank everyone who participated in our virtual open day. We hope that you found this event informative and engaging, and that you have gained a better understanding of the program. So I would like to express my greatest gratitude to everyone who joined us today, our speakers, our panelists, and also I would like to thank our participants for joining us today. Thank you for your questions, and we appreciate your interest in our program. So these are the list of websites and the contact details that you can reach us. So if you would like to explore more about anatomy department, you can log into the website medic.usm.my/anatomy, or if you would like to know more about the admission requirement, you can log on to admission.usm.my website. And if you would like to know more about our lecturers, you can log on to Experts PESP website, and you can see the list of our lecturers profile. Go to anatomy department, and you can filter the anatomy department in the Expert PESP website, and you can see list of our lecturers profile. If you have any questions about our program, you can email us at anatomydepartment@usm.my, or you can email our MSc program coordinator, Dr. Azina, at azinakb@usm.my, or you can call us at this number. Alright, so we hope that this event has provided you with a better understanding of this program and the opportunities that can offer you. So we encourage you to reach us for more questions, or if you would like to know more about the program. So once again, thank you for joining us today, and we wish you all the best in your academic and professional pursuit. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We have the link of the attendance in the chat box for USM staff. You can click on the link, and you get the 60 point for joining this event. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.